Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will going to learn about the Java variables. Okay, so what do you mean by Java variables and how to be used to implement project level work with the Java variables, right? So this is one of the basic and important topic. Most of the interview questions also ask based on this topic only. So we will see different types of Java variables, what exactly Java variables are, okay, and how we can use the Java variables. Okay, so let's get started with this topic. So hi everybody, I am Rahul, your host for this video, and I am going to teach you about the Java variables. Okay, so let's start with this video. Let me present my screen. Okay, so what do you mean by Java variables? So variables are used to store constant value. Using these values we are achieve project requirements. Okay, so basically a Java allows us to create many variables. Okay, the variables are nothing but the it is type of containers which hold a constant value. Okay, which will required during our project work. Okay, so variables is also known as build of classes or the properties of classes. Okay, and the variable must have a type. Okay, so we can use primitive types such as float, integer, boolean, etc., or the array type or class type or enum type or interface type. These are the user defined. Okay, so how we declare the variable? So this is the in this this is one of the example where we can declare an integer type variable number which is value is 15. Okay, so this is public. So here the public is a modifier. Okay, access specifier. Okay, and integer is a type of variable, data type of variable. It is integer type, float type, or string type. Okay, so the next value is the next is num. It is the name of the variable. Okay, so variable name can be anything. Okay, according to the project requirements. Okay, we have to uh, use the name according to the specific project requirement. And the next is constant or liter. Okay, this is like your 15 is a constant. Okay, so constant is used to is the value which is assigned to this number data type, integer type variable number. Okay, so in Java variables there are three categories in Java. Okay, so local variable, instance variable, and static variables. Okay, so let's see what do you mean by local variables, what do you mean by instance and static variables. So let's move to local variable. So the local variables are the variables which are declared inside method, constructor, or blocks. Okay, so these variables are called local variable. Okay, so the variables which are declared inside the method, constructor, or blocks are called as the local variable. So it is possible to access a local variable by only inside the method, class, or method, inside method, constructor, or blocks only. It is not possible to access outside method, constructor, or block. Okay, the uh, local variables can only be accessed within the methods only, right? So outside method, outside block, or outside constructor, you cannot use the local variable, so which is declared inside that particular method. Okay, So the next thing is the local variables, memory allocated when method start and memory release when the method is completed for the local variable, right? So if a method called m1 is having one local variable name as roll number, so when the method for that local variable, the memory is allocated when method starts. Okay, while executing method start executing that method program, and the memory is released when the method is completed. Okay, so the scope of the local variables is within the method only. Okay, and these are stored in stack memory. Okay, so this all about the local variables. So we'll see instance variable next. So what do you mean by instance variable? So the variables which are declared inside a class but outside method, those variables are called instance variables. Okay, so these are the class level variables, and the scope of the variable of this instance variables having global visibility. Okay, and for instance variables, memory allocated during object creation and memory release when the object is destroyed. Okay, so whenever we will create uh, object for the particular class, that time only the instance variables memory is allocated, and when the object is destroyed, that time the memory is deallocated. Okay, so that's, and instance variables are stored in the heap memory area. Okay, so as we know, the local variables are stored in the stack memory. The local variables are stored in the heap memory. Okay, so let's move towards static variables. Okay, so the static variables, what do you mean by static variables? Okay, so the variables which are declared inside a class, okay, but outside the method, okay, are the with the static modifier is called the static variables. Okay, so the scope of these static variables are within the class only, within the class with the global visibility. Okay, so the static variables are the memory allocated during class during the dot class file loaded into memory and release a dot class file unloaded on loading time. Okay, so uh, and the static variables are stored in the non-heap area of the memory. Okay, so when the dot class file loaded, that time the memory allocated, and when the dot class file is unloaded, that time memory is released for static variables with the global visibility. Okay, the memory is allocated only one time, like per class for these static variables. Okay, so this is all about the static variables. So we will see the the area. Okay, area, we instance variable accessibility area. Okay, so instance variables and methods. Okay, instance variables and methods, how will anyone going to access the instance variable? Okay, so instance variables and method are directly accessible. Note here, directly accessible with the instance area. So we will going to see what do you mean by instance area and what do you mean by static area. I will going to tell you this one specifically in next few minutes. Okay, and to access the instance variable in static area, we can use by using the object. Okay, we need to create object to access instance variable or methods inside static area, and we can access directly without creating any object inside instance area. Okay, and we will see same with static variable accessibility. Okay, So what do you mean by static variable accessibility? Okay, so how we so the static variables and methods can be accessed by using the class name. Okay, you can access directly by using class name in both area, like instance area and as well as static area. So this way we can access the static variables and methods inside any class. Okay, so that's all about the theory part. Okay, so we will see now how the local instance and the static variables are used practically inside with the help of programs. Okay, so for this one I have created the programs already for this one. Okay, so this is program to demonstrate local variables, how we can create local variables and how we can use inside project work. Okay, so this is the demonstration for the local variables. Okay, so in this program, okay, so I have created one class. So there is one method called m1 method, there is another public method called m2 method, and there is main class, main method, which is required to uh, execute our program. Okay, so from the main, as we know, the from the main method only the program execution starting, the starting place where the program execution takes place. Okay, so I have created this one local, this is called local inside method. As we know, the local variables are the variables which are declared inside method, constructor or the block. So this is main is also one type of method. So this is a local variable called 15 roll number, which is value is 15. Okay, so next variable is string variable, which is name and its value is Rahul. Okay, and the next variable is the percentage, which is a type of float variable, and its value is 62.25. Okay, so how we can achieve, how we can use these variables. Okay, so these are the local variables I have declared, and to use these variables we can simply you know use the name of the variable. Okay, so this is the local variable. We are calling this as a local variable, a local variable name, roll number and percentage. Okay, so let's move to the method m1. In this method also, the integer method m1 contain one local variable called employee. Okay, and another local variable as employee age, employee height. Okay, and we, if you want to print this variable, we can simply use the name of the variable. Okay, using that name we can print the roll number. Okay, roll number or the simple age. Okay, not roll number, it is age. Okay, so and if we want to access the local variable without declaring, it is not initialized. Okay, so it will throw an error showing that the local variable may not have been initialized. Okay, so before using any local variable we have to initialize that variable. So here note the point, what do you mean by initialization? So initialization is nothing but the assigning values to the local variables. Okay, so the float variable is currently is not assigned any value inside that. Okay, it is just a declare. Okay, so the it is not initialized. Okay, so to use this variable, so let's run this program. Let's see what errors we got. Okay, so we got the only the three, these are not printed even. Okay, so here compiler showing that error is an initialized variable. Okay, so we need to assign some values to the variable called float, like 5 foot 2 inches like flow. Okay, now the error is gone. Okay, you see the error is gone. Okay, so like that we need to initialize the variable with some values, local variable with some values. Okay, so and the scope of these local variables is within this area only, within this block only. Okay, we cannot use these either these or this variable outside the m1 method. Okay, because it is local to this method only. Okay, let's try to access the role this one, that role variable with outside the method for this one. Okay, this is the local variable for this method, and if we try to access this one outside this method called m2, so it will not allow me to access this one. Okay, because it is the scope of this local variable is inside this area only. So outside the area the variable is destroyed. Okay, as we know the it is stored in stack memory, and its scope is only within the area, and memory is allocated when the method is start, and the disallocated when the method is end. Okay, so here it is not possible to use this local variable. Okay, this is all about the local variables. Okay, so if we want to talk about the instance variable, so let's see how it is used and how we can declare all these instance variables. So as we know, the instance variables are the variables which are inside the class. Okay, but outside method. Okay, so these are all the instance variables. Okay, these are the inside class, outside method. Okay, this is German method. Okay, so instance variable, this is instance method, or non-static method is also called non-static or instance method. Okay, so if you want to access the variables within the this is instance method. Okay, this is instance area. Okay, the area inside the method is called instance method is called instance area. This is instance area inside the instance method. Okay, so if you want to access the instance variable inside instance method, okay, or instance area, so we can directly access by using name of that one, as we saw now last time we saw the we can access instance variable in instance area directly. Okay, so see here we also know how to access, as we saw we can instance variable we can access in instance area directly. Okay, so this is the demonstration of direct access of instance variable. Okay, so how about static? Okay, so the static variable static inside static method, this is static area. Okay, inside all these are the static area. Okay, for the static method declare with the static static keyword is called static method, and inside these are the static area. Okay, so how to access this instance variable inside this one? Okay, so to access this one we need to create object of the class instance variable. Okay, and by using object dot we can use the instance variables. Okay, of that class. Let's say for the percentage it is percentage. Okay, and for gender it is gender. Okay, so this is how we can access the instance variables inside the static area. Okay, or static method. Okay, and and this is just I have declared the method, two methods with the object. I have created object and just simply call the method. Okay, let's verify this one. Okay, this is the local for this one. Okay, this is instance variable instance of vm1. These three are printed. Okay, and the next three are also printed. Okay, so as you can see the output is 5 line. Okay, two m1 methods are printed. This one. Okay, let me track this one so that you will get a better understanding. Okay, this okay. Okay, all right. So let's move to the static variables. Okay. So what do you mean by static variables? Static variables are the variables or the methods which is declared with the static modifier. Okay. This is also like this is static variable called college name. Okay. Which is its value is unique, so the value doesn't change through the program. Okay, so if we take the example of school. Okay, in the school there are like many students, which is roll number is different, which is roll number is unique. Okay, so but there each student having the school name or the college name is the same. Okay, as a DPL, like Delhi Public School, which is referring to the same school. Okay, so like that only. This is like static variable. Okay, which is declared as a college name, which is value as Delhi Public School. Okay, so each object will share the same. This is a single copy per class. Okay, for static. Okay, and each object will share the same copy of static variable. Okay, so this is like this is integer, this is instance variable. Okay, and this is static method, this is non-static method. Okay, and there is one uh, main method which is calling both static and non-static method. Okay, so how to access static variables inside static method. Okay, and this is static variable, and this is static method. Okay, this is static area. So to access the static variables inside static method. Okay, we can simply use using a class name we can access. Okay, and uh, to access the static method to access static variables inside the um, instance method. Okay, uh, which is possible using the class name dot the variable name. Okay, so both can access by using class name. Okay, so irrespective of the area in which it is reside to, either static or either instance, we can use uh, by using class name dot the variable name or method name. We can simply call that respective class variables or the methods of static. Okay, so this is how we can use the static variables or method. Let me run this program for you guys. Okay, so we can see inside both. This is the static method which is referring to same copy college name. Okay, inside m1. Okay, m1 method, and this is m2 method. This is m2 method. Sorry, this is m2 method, which is referring non-static, which is referring single copy of the static array. Okay, and the memory is allocated when dot class file is loaded for these static variables or methods, and it is unallocated when the dot class file is removed. Okay, so that's it for the static, local, and instance variables. So okay, so let me know in your reactions with the comments, how the things going on with the static, local, and instance variable. Okay, till then, take care, and I will catch you on the next video. Okay, bye bye, take care.